All right. Hey everyone, let me know if the microphone is working. Everything should be good now. Okay. Hey, look at all those messages. How nice. Okay, all right, let me just organize all my windows so everything works right. Okay. All right, so hey everyone, thank you again for joining me on another random live stream. This one is going to be fun. I actually wanted to make this one last week, but in the meantime there were some upgrades that I wanted to make to my little characters here, so end up being this week. So let's see, I added a little fun thing here. So let's just let me just write this. And yep, there you go, look at that. We've got a nice poll. Just a bit of fun. So let's see, everything should be working. So essentially you type in chat, a exclamation point, vote, and then 1, 2, or 3. So let me vote myself. I quite like red, so let's go. Let's see if it works. This does have quite a bit of delay, but let's see. Yep, there you go, 1 vote on red. Look at that, how fun. All right, let's see if this keeps going. Okay, let me just organize things. All right, look at that. It does seem to be working. So apparently the favorite color is red. All right. It's vote without the space. Vote and then the number. Yeah, I should probably add it so that it supports the space as well, but yeah, sure. All right, does seem to be working. So yeah, just another thing, a bit more fun. And look at that, now we're tied, red and blue. Okay. And let me see if this thing is working. Where's my... And yep, look at that, blue is taking over. And apparently nobody likes green. Okay. Just looking at this and just make sure everything is working. Okay. All right, so that's it. As you can see, a bit more fun and got all the characters down there. They also got a bit more messages. So that's going to be a bit of fun. I can also play around with the size. So I made a bunch of upgrades onto this little characters. Look at that, so many people. I think the maximum now is 70. I think previously it was at 30 or something. So yeah, should be a bunch more. So that's gonna be fun. Right, look at that. Someone, poor Bulbasaur. Yeah, poor Bulbasaur. Gotta say, for me, Charmander all the way. All right, okay. So let's see what's the goal on this live stream, as you've seen on the title. So let me, first of all, okay, there's the poll. So apparently blue wins. Well, look at that. All right. Okay, everything still works. All right, so let me take out the background. And I think everything should be, yep, you should be seeing it right now. All right, that's cool. Oh, look at that, a super chat. Thank you. I actually don't know if super chats, that's actually interesting. I don't know, are they being identified? Oh, they are, but they show up in a strange way. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Oh, thank you. All right, I'm glad you've learned from the videos. So let's see, yeah, the message shows up like that. That's interesting. So yeah, I should probably add some little special thing for super chat. So that's gonna be the next upgrade on my live chat characters thingy. Okay, so, all right, how many of you know what this is on the background? Hey, let's go with another poll. You recognize this scene? Just a yes and a no. All right, so let's see. How many of you recognize this scene, where this is from, where this thing is from? So let's see, it's actually quite interesting. You got a whole bunch of characters here. Look at these, all look really interesting. Look at this guy. looks very nice. And all of these ones looking pretty mean. So he's got a little slime thing, a rock thing, and a little plant thing. Then up here, a whole bunch of things. Look at that, most people don't know, or 50-50. Let's see the results. All right, so this looks pretty good. It's got a nice cartoony art style, so a bunch of flat colors. And over here, the water shader looks pretty cool. So as you can see, it bounces up and down, and it has a connection with this, so it's really nice. All right, so apparently quite a lot of people don't know. So this is from the Unity Open Projects. That's the project being made by an official team inside of Unity. And they're essentially trying to make a mini game alongside the community. So it's a thing, it's all open source. So all of this, you can download the project files from the actual project. And the goal for this open project is to make a nice little action RPG. So this is the player character, this little guy here with a cane, and there's a little bird, and he's got something in behind him. And then over here, there's this cook. So he's supposed to be the chef, and the whole thing is like it's an action adventure game. So you go out, you grab some ingredients, you make a bunch of quests, then you've got to create a bunch of things, and eventually the goal is to impress the chef. So it's a nice little mini game. And yeah, as I said, it's called Unity Open Projects. You can Google it. And what it does is essentially the community is meant to be a big part of it. So that's going to be, so if you want to participate, you can actually go in there and actually contribute, go into it's all on GitHub, it's all open source. So you can go there and participate and add systems, add models, things, anything you want. So it's a really interesting idea. So for me, I wanted to do something with it. So I figured, well, all of these assets look really cool. So I thought, well, why don't I try turning this into a really nice RTS? I haven't done any RTS tutorials in quite a while, so I think that would be quite fun. So that's essentially the goal with this. Okay, so, and to do that, I've got all my things down here, and I can't actually see it because it's under the characters. So let me just hide them just for a bit, just so I can actually load my scene. All right. Okay, so yeah, it's called Unity Open Projects. So go ahead, give it a watch if you want to see how it is. They got a whole bunch of live streams and some explainer videos. For example, they got some videos on the shader used here for making the toon shading. So it's really interesting. So if you want to learn more, go ahead and check that out. Okay, so my goal here on this live stream is to essentially try to convert this into a nice little RTS. So I'm going to be using these assets and try to make something. Okay, wow, there's quite a lot of people down here already. So let's see, 176 concurrent viewers. Hey, that's pretty nice. All right, once again, thank you all for joining me. That's always very interesting. I'm sure it's a bit of a random time for some of you, but yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so everything seems to be working correct. Look at that. Yep, the characters are really cool. Let's make them bigger. All right, that's nice. Okay. All right, so let's see, what do I got to do? And let's begin with my RTS. All right, here's my script. Now, the first thing that I'm going to need is to essentially just have the camera, just the mouse worm position. So that's going to be the first thing that I should probably work on. So this plane does have a box and letters, so I should probably be able to add my nice mouse 3D script. Actually, it doesn't have to be on this object, but yeah, sure. Let me go just add one. So let's call this the mouse 3D. And by the way, if you want, feel free to ask some questions. I'm gonna try to somehow, keep in mind, try to look at these and make sure that make sure that I pay attention to everything at once. It's a bit tricky, but I'm going to try to make them. So the characters, they are based on some sprite sheets. If you search for sprite sheet on my video list, I made a video for how all these sprite sheets are made. So essentially they're all modular. They're all a whole bunch of character sprites. Like there's a head sprite, then gets tinted with a sort of skin color, then gets added some beard, some hair, a bunch of things. So it's a really interesting, very modular system. And of course, if you've played my game Battle Royale Tycoon, then you've seen this system in action. Okay, so I've got my mouse 3D. Let me just go here. Just, first of all, just the debug log. Just make sure this is working. Mouse 3D, access the instance. Actually, I don't need that. Just get the mouse worm position. All right, that's the first thing that I need, is to get the mouse worm position. Okay, so let's see. First test, I got a whole nice list in here, so everything should be interesting. And there you go, we've got an error right away. Trying to read input. What input? Oh, crap. Well, that's something. Alright, that's actually interesting. Because this project is using the new thing. Can I just change it on player settings? Because I actually don't need the new... I still haven't touched that one too much. So let's see here, where do I go? It's on the input manager. Right, yeah. Can I change it to the old one? Maybe just both. Really, the editor? All right. Okay, so there you go. Just a little. Right, so the input system, that's interesting. That's a new one. I still haven't used it enough. Right, look at that. Very nice messages. Okay, so just waiting for it to restart. Oh, and by the way, Unity 2020.3 LTS just came out last week, so that's going to be interesting. So I got a video coming out today on the very easy Unity versions, what they changed. That's going to be quite interesting. And then I got to make another video on the new changes, because so far I've been working just on 2019.4. So it's going to be interesting to try to look at all the changes from 2019.4 to 2020. That's going to be interesting. Okay, all right, so everything is working so far. So now let's see, and okay. All right, so at least it's grabbing that one from the mouse input. Okay. Right. All right, so let me get the mouse. Did I put the... All right, first of all, getting the mouse. Let's go in here. Yep, this guy's not there. Put it on the mouse 3D. Oh, crap, now it's not being rendered. Okay, so put in there. Where's my camera? All right, it's in here. And just render everything. So are you not rendering? Actually, let me make this one separate. Makes more sense. Great. Where's my plane? There you go. Look at that. My Text Mesh Pro doesn't have support for, is that Arabic? Yeah, apparently it doesn't, just shows a bunch of squares, so that's why, yeah. Okay, so let's put this, stretch it out just so that it's big enough. And let me put this one back on default and copy this guy, get rid of the mouse 3D component. Let's put it in here, mouse 3D. Yeah, right. And just disable the render, of course. All right. Is he? Did I not? I didn't. Okay. All right, there you go. So got the basic thing, got the mouse position being grabbed. All right, so. Okay, so I've got the mouse position. Now the first thing that I want to do is be able to grab and move a character. So it's going to be my pig chef. All right, so let's make a new one, call it just unit. Put it on 000, drag that one for the visual. Obviously the visual will be separate. Which graphics card do you use? I still got a 980. I would love to upgrade, but apparently there are no graphics cards available anywhere. So that's a bit tricky. Any of you also waiting for graphics card to come up. That's actually quite an annoying thing, to not be able to buy it no matter what. It's always out of stock everywhere. Yeah. Someone asking, is the streaming going to be uploaded? Yep, this is being recorded as a VOD, so yep, it will work. Okay, so let's go down here. Let's make a new C# script. Make it chop chop unit. Oh yeah, if you sold your graphics card, then that's quite messed up. Oh, with the 3070, you managed to get one. That's nice. Any plans for dots related content? Yep, I definitely do want to get back into dots, just not sure when. There's not enough time to do everything, that's always a problem. Okay, so I've got my unit. Let's first handle just some basic movement. So private update. Let's go into the mouse 3D to get the mouse wheel position. And I'm going to move this using a nav mesh. Is nav mesh inside? Actually, I don't know, it's on Unity Engine Navigation. Nope. Just Unity Navigation. Nope. Let me see. I use nav mesh. Oh, it's on Unity Engine AI. Is that where it is? Yep. All right. So it's on Unity Engine AI. Nav mesh. Get the nav mesh agent. Can you do a gather AI but for 3D? Well, in this game I will be adding a gather mechanic, so yep, that's going to be interesting. What is a nav mesh? Nav mesh stands for a navigation mesh. So it's the built-in way for Unity to actually be able to traverse around an area. So you just go there and you go into nav mesh and you set the destination. Actually, should I use the function or the other one? Actually, not too sure. But yeah, just give it that and the object automatically moves towards it. I need to put Arabic translation because I don't know Arabic, so it would be quite tricky to make translation. Okay, so let's add a nav mesh agent. And then I gotta bake the nav mesh. Nav mesh same as pathfinding. Yep, it is. So go up here into AI, navigation, and let's just bake. And there you go, there's my nav mesh, and that rock is working, and this one is not static, right? Yep, that's why. It only identifies static objects. Okay, so that's the nav mesh, and that's this guy. I don't think I added the my script. So let's go, it's way behind these characters. All right, so it's this one. Okay, let's see if he moves. And yep, there you go, look at that. He is indeed moving. And this rock is solid, so if I go, yep, he's not gonna touch that rock. He's gonna go around it. The other one is not baked, so the other one does go through. All right, that's great. And now I get an error because that guy is trying to play some animations. So I just want that one just for the visual. So for now, let me get rid of all of these. Then it's gonna be tricky to remake, but okay, sure. Just get rid of all of these right now. I just want the visual and nothing else. The capstone collider. Yeah, sure, keep that one. Because that one is the one on top or on the can. I'm not sure. Okay. All right, so yep, as you can see, nav mesh is that easy. Do I have time to play other games? Not really. That's always very tricky. All right, so look at that. Very simple. You just set the destination, you give it a position, and there you go. He just goes around it, does not go through solid objects. So yep, super simple. All right, so that's the first thing that I want. Now, the next thing is being able to have some controls. So I want to be able to select this character, move it, and so on. So let me create a brand new sprite. Just name it the selected. And I should have some nice little sprites like this one. Okay. Just a bit like that. Now, I never know which one this is. All right, let's flip on the x-axis. So put it 3, 3. This will be in green. And for the plain visual, let's put it at -0.01, just so it's right under that one. Okay. So this is how I'm going to essentially select this character or not. All right. Okay, now for this one, I actually already covered RTS controls. What is that circle? That is the selection. So that's how I'm going to tell which unity is selected. So I did cover RTS controls previously. So let's see how I handle that so that I can rework it in here. All right. Yep, so essentially I'm going to rework this class to fit this new one. So let me go into, sure, and chop RTS. Let's put it in here. Then we're going to, okay. So first of all, I'm going to need a list for all the units that are selected. So private list is going to be a chop unit. I'm gonna have to refactor all these names, but yep. So this is the selected unit list. Okay, and on private void await, simply instantiate, so just a new list. Okay, then on update, actually the first thing that I'm going to need is, let me think, because I gotta click to select. What does RTS mean? Real-time strategy. Very nice. Okay, so on update, I'm essentially going to need, so if input.get mouse button down, so when I press the left mouse button, let's try to select the unit. So I'm going to go into physics. I'm going to do a nice raycast. And now the raycast will be, now let me try to think. Camera.main and screen point array, is that the one? I never know for sure. But yeah, input.mouse position. And this will do, what is this raycast? Okay, do a raycast, and yeah, this one just outputs a boolean, so just a true or false, which right now it should always be true, but yeah, sure. Let's see if that raycast is working. All right, someone asking, do I use a mechanical keyboard? Nope, I'm using the same keyboard that I've used for the past 15 years, so yeah. Never actually tried a mechanical keyboard. Okay, so let's see. So it is constantly true because it is constantly there. All right, so far so good. Is the stream saved? Yep, it will be saved. Okay, so on the raycast, all right, so that is correct. That's the screen point array. What do I got? The ones with the out raycast info. So, damn, this has a lot of versions. Why not dark theme? Because dark theme burns my eyes. So actually white theme is much better for me. Okay. So which version do I want? I want one with array. Don't the ones with array? Yeah, there you go. Raycasted info, that's what I want. So just that. Okay. What is a raycast? It's a physics query going from one position to another one. And it returns all the physics objects that it hits. So out for my raycast hit. Doesn't that one return? Oh, correct. Not on that one. Okay. So if this one, so if it hits something, then let's do a debug log on the raycast hit dot collider, just to be able to see what it hits. Okay, let's see. All right, so as I click, yep, I'm hitting the mouse 3D. All right, and if I click on the character, yep, I hit the pig chef. All right, and if I hit the rock, yep, there you go. So this is how you identify objects. Very simple, just do a physics raycast, and there you go, works like that. Okay, so I've got my collider. Then I take this guy, I do an if, go into the collider, and do a try get component. And I'm going to try to get a chop unit. And this one requires an out. Try get component is such an awesome function. It really saves up on writing. All right. So chop unit. So I'm asking tutorial multiplayer like photon. Well, if I make a tutorial video, it will probably be using the official Unity multiplayer, which right now is the ML API. I still haven't looked into it, but it does look quite interesting. nav mesh update. Yep, you can make it update. Yep. So, okay, let me see. Just to ensure that everything works. Should be working, but always testing. There's never an issue with testing. What is the purpose of chop chop? That's just the name of the game being made by Unity. Okay, so clicking here, nothing happens on the console. Click on the pig, and nope, he's actually not being selected. Why is he not being selected? Oh, right, because he's hitting the other one and not this one. Actually, that's a good question. I don't know. Does NavMesh Agent work as a collider by default? Actually, don't think it does. So it probably needs one. Dragon component. Yep, it's super awesome. All right, so I'm clicking on him, and nope, it does not work. So this guy does need to have a capsule collider. Actually, I should probably copy this one. That's much easier. So just copy component, go into this guy, and just paste component as new. Get rid of this one and enable this one. All right, there it is. There's the capsule collider. So now let's see if I click and if it works. So I click on nothing, and nope. Click on him, and unit. There you go. I've got my unit. All right, so I'm now clicking to select the unit. Okay, so far so good. Now when I do, essentially I want to add him onto the selected unit list. And before I do, when I click, let's clear, just to get rid of all the other things previously in there. And just do that, sure. And then on update, let's go if input, get mouse button down, set movement on the right mouse button. So go for each on the chop unit in the selected unit list. And essentially I'm going to tell that chop unit to set the destination, and I'm going to give it the mouse wheel position. So going to mouse 3D, get the mouse wheel position. So I'm going to tell it to go there. So now I just got to go make that function. So in here, just a public void, set destination, receive a vector 3 for the destination position, and just do this. So instead of doing it on every update, just do it in here, destination position. Okay. I'm currently working on a game of my own. Nope, not right now. Right now, just focused on the videos, really exploring tons of things. Sadly, there's not enough time for everything. That's always the issue. All right, so like this, if I click on nothing, then it selects nothing. So obviously there's still division, but yeah. And if I right click, nope, nothing happens. And if I click to select him, yep, he should now be selected. And if I right click, yep, there you go, now he goes there. All right, we're starting to get close to some very basic RTS controls. So let's handle the visual, just so we can easily handle this. Okay, so let's go up here, public void set selected. How do I move my character? The movement is all automatic, so they just randomly choose a position left to right, they stay a bit, they go, so just like that. Okay, so set the selected, ball is selected, and I'm going to just store it in here, even though, yeah, sure, that works. Okay, so then I need a private, let's make it a game object for the selected visual game object. And I think I called that one selected, so transform.find the selected. It's actually the game object. All right, so let's put the set selected, going to that one, dot set active on the is selected. Okay, so up here on awake, let's set selected into false. So by default, it starts off as unselected. All right, and then by selecting, it goes into that one. So then on this guy, this is the one that is handling all of the things. So I've got my selected list, and let's make a function. First of all, private void, deselect all units. All right, so essentially I gotta scroll upwards, otherwise I can't see. And light theme is the only thing. Well, the dark theme burns my eyes, so sorry, can't do anything about that. Okay, so let me just cycle through all of them. And I'm going to go into chop chop unit, and I'm going to set the selected as false. I'm going to deselect all the current units, then I clear the list. So up here, that's what I'm going to do. When I click the mouse, I first deselect all of them, and then I select a bunch of them, and the ones that I do select, I'm going to tell it set selected as true. Okay. So let's see if we can now see the selected actually accurate, and it's a bit too big, so let's make it a bit smaller. Instead of 3.3, maybe just 2.2. Okay, let's see. How long have you been using Unity? I started using Unity back in, when was it? 2012, December of 2012. That was quite a while ago. Okay, so I click on nowhere, and nope, that guy is not selected, and I click on him, and nope, he's still not selected. Actually, he is, but why did he not set? That's a good question. So let's see. Yep, that guy is still disabled. Okay, so let's see. Set right, because I set it to false. So, yep, that's why it doesn't work. All right, where do I make my art? I draw it in Photoshop, but I'm really not an artist. Okay, so if I click on nothing, nope, click on him, and yep, there you go, he's selected and deselected. So if I right click, nope, doesn't set an order. Click on him and right click, and yep, there you go. You go in there and select, and yep, there you go. It is working. All right, that's awesome. And right now everything is working with multiple units. So if I just make multiple of these, obviously later on I'm going to turn them into prefabs, but for now this should be working. So I select them, you go in there, you go in there, you in there, and you in there. And there you go. All right, so far so good. What kind of game am I trying to make? A basic RTS, something like Age of Empires. So essentially you control multiple units, you gather resources, place down buildings, then a bunch of enemies come in, and so on. What does RTS mean? Real-time strategy. So, you know, Age of Empires, that's always fun. Okay, all right, let's see. So the next thing would be being able to select multiple units at once instead of clicking one by one. So for that, once again, I can go and see how I did it on that RTS tutorial video. So it's in here, right, I'm going to need the selected area transform. I actually don't remember exactly how I did that one, but as usual, I can just go and see it because I always keep all the projects in here. So yep, this is my standard scene. So it's got all of the various things. Look at that, the checkpoint system, the cursor icons, and around here, the modular character, that one is fun. Okay, so what did I name this one? The RTS, where is it? Well, let's search RTS. 2K more 250, yeah, thanks. I'm glad people enjoy the things. Yeah, it's getting close to 250 now, so that's fun. Okay, so I've got right here, oh yeah, it's on the cursor icons. Well, actually, I made it elsewhere, but yeah, sure, on the cursor icons, it's here as well. All right, so look at that. This is the 2D RTS video, and all I want to grab from here is just the selection area. Yep, there you go. It's just a sprite in there. So just go in here, copy this guy, go all the way down there, go into my scene. If I can click underneath this guy and get rid of this one and paste it down. Right. Actually, yeah, copy pasting isn't going to be very useful just because this is a 3D. Oh, you see the overlay? Yep, I do. So it's kind of hard to click on things down here. And let's see on the characters. Make them big. Now it's even more tricky. All right. Can you answer me? Yep, I'm trying to answer everything I can. All right, so the issue here, of course, is that that demo was in 3D, or rather 2D, and this is in 3D. So for the sprite, essentially, I'm going to have to flip it. Yep, it's on the X. All right, that's awesome. And on the position on the child sprite, I put it on, is it 0.5? Is that correct? Nope. Right, on the Y, it's supposed to be on 0. And is that rotated? I don't think it is rotated. Am I viewing backwards? Yep, I am viewing backwards. Well, that's not nice. Yeah, the X should be to the right, not to the left. All right, so that's a bit confusing, but okay. Actually, let me move the camera, just so I don't get lost. So get the camera. Here's a quick Unity tip. If you move the scene view, and then after, let's say I want to place the camera here, I press Ctrl-Shift-F, and there you go, the camera gets positioned exactly where it is. So it's a really nice, really fun quick tip, very useful. So you just move around the scene view wherever you want. Let's say I want to see things through this point of view, Ctrl-Shift-F, and the camera or the selected object goes from the transform in there. So there you go, that's fun. Okay, so just reorienting it just so that the X is to the right so that it actually makes sense. Okay, all right, so what do I want? Just to be able to, let me put them back into normal size so that I can actually click behind it. Got a request error, all right. Okay, how'd you learn all of these? Well, that's all experience. There's no substitute for experience. That's pretty much it. That's always the thing. The more things you make, the better you become. So then things become much more easy. All right, so the selection area is right there. And so I'm going to need the select area transform. So let's go into this guy. All right, selected transform. And yep, I'm gonna hide it on a weight. That makes sense. And let's see. Start pathfinding. On this one, I'm using NavMesh just because it's super easy to set up. Okay. Right, so I'm, well, actually, yeah, right now let's not hide it just so I can see it make sense. So yeah, I'm just seeing how I handle all of this logic. So essentially, I need to store the start position. Okay. So I get the start position. And then what do I do? Let me see this. Right, I've got to calculate the lower left and the upper right corners on the right mouse position. So whilst the mouse is held down, so let's copy all of this, put all of this in here, and see how all of this is working. Now on this one, I'm not using 2D, but rather 3D. So get the mouse wrong position in 3D. And this is in 3D, so for the positions, it's all XZ instead of XY. XZ like that, transform local scale, and yep, that's correct. Okay, so on the Y, it's going to be 0, on to scale, on the X and Z. Okay, so like this, actually, I think it should be working. What app do I use for the people on the bottom of the screen? Well, it's not an app, it's something that I made. I covered it in a tutorial just a while ago. So if you search on the video list for the hack into Unity, so that, oh crap, well, we got something, right, because I forgot the other. And yeah, if you're not familiar, look at this. There's the really nice control window. So essentially I can use this to control everything. So I can look at all the various messages, accept them, and so on. I can make some polls, so that's going to be fun. And question messages, names, I can change the size. So it's a really nice control window. Again, I made this so if you browse around the video list, you'll be able to see how this works. So essentially it's two separate windows, and this one is sending some controls onto this one. So it's really fun stuff. Well, let's go with a poll. What about a poll? Let's say Pokemon. Let's say which one? Charmander or Bulbasaur? Which is the third one? Oh crap, what's his name? It's not Blastoise, that's the third one. Oh crap, somebody help me. Squirtle. Is it Squirtle? It is Squirtle. Damn, forgot about that one. It is, right? Just make sure that I'm not crazy. All right, hey, look at that. The things, and now we've got a poll. And now you can vote on the poll. And for me, I'm gonna do my vote. So I'm gonna vote, obviously, Charmander all the way. Okay, so go ahead, feel free to vote just to see all this. Why no Pikachu? Because he's not the starter. So let me just move this to the side. It's really nice being able to have control over all of this, so I can move the window around. You can all still keep voting, and I can continue work. So that's fun. It's interesting. All right, let's see if this one works. And by the way, the vote, it's all vote and then the number without a space. Whenever I do the next update, I'll make sure to also listen to votes with a space, just because it makes sense. But okay, so yeah, this one is, it is indeed working. So as I click and move the mouse around, and yep, there you go. I'm missing the start position, but yep, it is indeed working. So let's see the start position. Why is that one not working? Where's the lower left? Why is that one not working? Because I did not save the start position. Well, of course. So it's when I get the mouse button down, that's when I gotta save the start position. Oh crap, I touched the microphone. Sorry about that. So let's go start position, go into mouse 3D and get the mouse roll position. All right, just save the start position on start and then update it. Right. Now look at that on the poll. Apparently Charmander is number 1, Squirtle number 2, and Bulbasaur number 3. How interesting. Gotta say, I haven't played a Pokemon game in quite a while, so I really don't know anything beyond the original 150. Yeah, I gotta play that at some point. Okay, so essentially the selection area is all working. So I click here, go here, I'll let go, and yep, everything is indeed working. Okay. What kind of game are you doing now? This is, I am trying to make a basic RTS. What time is it? I didn't even see. Oh, it's 1:40. And look at that, over 300 viewers watching. All right, thank you all for being here at this time. It's a bit of a weird time. It's 1 p.m. here, so interesting stuff. All right, okay. So what else? So I've got my area, and now all I want to do is being able to identify which units are inside that area. So I'm going to have to do another if input, and here it's get mouse button up. So I want to see when I let go on the left mouse button. So when I let go on the left mouse button, what do I want to do? I want to actually select all of those units. Ooh, it's actually going to be tricky. I actually don't know how I'm going to do that. Let's think. Working in 3D is a bit more complex, I gotta say. So I want to do, yeah, I guess I'm going to do an overlap box. Now, yeah, that's actually going to be an issue. It's the center. Ooh, the orientation. Actually, no, orientation is not going to be an issue, is it? No, I don't think so. So I'm trying to think how this one is going to work, but yeah, okay, I don't think that one is going to be an issue, but I do need to know the center position. Really, it's 7 p.m. in India? Oh, that's right, because India is more to the right side, so it's... All right, interesting. Is anyone here from the US? What time is it in the US? Yeah, right now it's about 2 a.m. So yeah, it's more on the eastern side of the globe now, I think. Okay, all right, so overlap box, what do I need? I need the center position. So essentially I'm going to have to calculate all of these. Think and vote infinite times. Nope. I mean, you can try, but as soon as you do, it changes your vote if you try to change to something else. Yeah, it's 245 in Denmark, Romania. How interesting. It's always nice to see how YouTube and the internet is such a global thing. So many people from so many places. It's very nice. Malaysia, Serbia, Canada, so many places. Caribbean, US, wow. So many people all over the world. How nice. Okay, so what am I doing? The overlap box. And now I gotta do some math to figure out the center and then the half extents. So how am I gonna do that? Let me think. Well, I'm going to need the mouse wheel position again. I'm going to need to calculate, but now it is not in lower left, but rather down. Well, I mean, I can actually do this, right? Vector 3 for the mouse center position. It's not the mouse, but the, what do I call it? Selection center position, okay? So it's selection center position, and this one is going to be a new vector 3. It's going to be the lower left dot x plus the upper right dot x minus the lower left dot x divided by 2. Okay, that's pretty much it. Let me just move this so I can actually see. It's probably helpful. Okay, so this puts me on there, then the 0, and then I need the same thing on the Z. So get the Z, upper right dot Z, down dot Z, and down. All right, so this should be the middle point. between those two. That's the selection center position. Let me make sure that this one, just doing a bit of a test. Actually, I don't know what are my units. So let's say 555. Let's see if that works. So this will be the selection box. Just do a debug log and just give this guy dot length. Okay, let's see if it finds any of them within the center position. So I'll be able to click them. There's so many people here, it's kind of hard. Where's my Unity window? Okay. Will this be available for download? Yep, I will eventually turn this into a video. So yep, when that happens, it will have the project files. Okay. All right, so if I click and select nothing and there's nothing, and nope, he found 6. Why did you find 6? Why are you finding 2, 4? Oh, right. He might actually be finding the background. Yep, so that actually makes sense. Yeah, so I need to actually identify what are those objects. Okay, so let's grab it. What do you select monkey as your mascot? Because Code Monkey is a fun thing. So what am I doing? The collider array. You can speak, explain while thinking. Yeah, I'm trying. It is most definitely a challenge. Yeah, to talk and do things at the same time. Okay, so not length. Okay, do an overlap box. Now let's do a for each collider in the collider array. So I go through the collider array and I debug.log on the collider to find out all the colliders within it. And let's just do a debug log just to be able to see that message. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so if I click on here, on nothing, yep, I'm seeing the... Alright, because 5 units is huge, so that's why it's capturing those. So if I click here on nothing, then it only identifies the plane and the mouse. If I click near this rock, then it does identify the rocks, and in that one, it does identify the various units. Alright, so far so good. No layer parameter, yeah, no need, I'm okay with grabbing all of them. I mean, I probably shouldn't, just to be able to make it a tiny bit more efficient, but performance isn't really a question right now. Okay, so this is indeed working. Now, of course, the issue is with the extents. So this is going to be a tricky one, because I never know. Half extents. So is that really half? Let's do vector 3, half extents equals something. You have Unity Pro. Yep, I do. It's not really necessary, but yeah. So if you make less than 100K a year, definitely don't get Unity Pro right now. There's no need to do that. Back when I started, there were a couple of things. Which one was it? Was it post-processing or the profiler? Some of those. Back when I started back in 2012, there were a couple of things locked behind Unity Pro, but nowadays Pro and the free version does everything. So yep, that's really awesome. You really don't need to spend any money in order to be able to use such an awesome engine. Yeah, it's really awesome how pretty much every engine now has a free version. That's really cool. Okay, what do I want? The half extents. So that's going to be the size. So in here, that's going to be, well, it's going to be this. Yeah, just the difference between those. Then on the Y, well, I want to be able to capture everything on the Y, so let's put 5 units. That's massive, but sure, it's not going to be an issue. So X, Y, Z, and I'm going to use the half extents in here. Okay. Actually, let me see how much are 5 units, and yeah, look at that, the poll. That's the results. Charmander wins, then Squirtle, then Bulbasaur. How interesting. Actually, that's a good question. How many of you were actually around when Pokemon first came out? That's interesting, because it did come out, when was that? 95? Pokemon Red and Blue? That was quite a while ago. Yeah, that was fun. Okay, so let me just see how big are the units, because I have no idea how big these guys are. So let me just select, I'll just select one of them, just be able to move it to the side and see. Okay, he's on X of 3, and here's an X of 4. Okay, so that's about 1 unit. So that's pretty good. Okay, so let's try to see. So with 5 units on the Y, that should be more than enough. Prison Pokemon cards. That's fun. Yeah, Pokemon cards, they were always really awesome. I never learned how to play the game, but I do have a bunch of cards just because they look so cool. All right, so I go and yep, I can indeed select this rock. I click on it and I go and yep, it does work. And if I click on these 4 guys, yep, there you go. I select all of them, just select this one. And you actually select 2. Right, that's the issue. It's always the half extents. That's always the thing. So if I put it to occupy these 2, and nope, it actually occupied just 1. Why did you only find 1? It's actually a good question. Yeah, I probably need to do some logs on that one to be able to see that. Have you worked for a game dev team? Nope. Only worked solo. Never actually worked with others. Ah, crap. Which one? Okay, it's hard to find the Visual Studio window down there. Alright, so let me add some logs just to be able to make sure that I'm doing the math correctly. So the selection, the center position, then the half extents. I think the half extents, the issue is that they are way too big. And on that one, let me put it just 1. Crap. Just put that one, okay. Let's see, select Unity. I never know which one it is. Okay. How are you? I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you all for being here. It's always fun. It's always fun. Okay, so if I click here and I go here, it's telling me that the center is on 3.5. Let's see if that is correct. Let's create an empty game object just to be able to see and make sure that it's positioned on a y of 0. Okay, so that one is on 3.5 minus 1.6. Nope, that is not correct. Why are you getting that one? Because that's the center, right? Okay, so the selection center position is... What? Oh, right. Ah, crap. Always issues. Always issues. You gotta first do the division, and then you do that. Yeah, it's no wonder it wasn't working. Here's a quick tip. Always make sure your math is correct. Yeah, super quick tip. All right. So if I click now, let go. Let's see if that one is now correct. So let's create an empty game object, put it on y of 0. Let's see that position. What is the 0.6 and minus 2.2? Yep, now it is indeed on the center. And with a 2.7, is that correct? So it goes from minus 0.6 to about 2. And yep, that is correct. Okay, so the numbers are correct. Now let me see if the rest of it is correct. So if I select this guy, just this guy, I think it is, yeah, it's actually double. So that's the issue. So if I select just these 2, if I put it this one, and he's actually, yep, he is selecting all 4 of them. Okay. That's always the issue. I never know why do these physics query, why do they use half and not the whole thing? It's always strange, but okay. So let's go like this, times 0.5f. Just got to cut it in half, times 0.5f. Okay, so now everything should be working. Let's make sure. Release any course soon? I'd love to. So who knows, maybe the next one around May. That should be fun. Okay, so if I go and I select, yep, all 4 of them. If I select just these 2, yep, only 2, and just these 2, and yep, only 2. All right, awesome. Everything is working. Okay, so now to actually select those objects and to set this one as enabled or disabled. So in here, let's set that one as inactive so that it's hidden. And when I click on it, I'm going to set it to true. And when sold, it is true. When I let go, that one goes back into false. All right, so the visual should be working. Okay. Then comes in here, I go into every single one of these guys and I find out which one it is, and I actually, right here on the collider. So I go on this collider, I try to get that component, and if I do find it, then everything should work. They should all show up as selected. Everything's working, and I no longer need this one, and I deselect them all and click. Okay, good. All right, let's see this. So if I go, click here, nope, nothing selected, select that one, and yep, there you go, that one is selected. Select all 4, and all 2, and all 3, and there you go. All right, awesome. So all the logic works, and I can select this guy, you go here, you go there, and go there. Now select all of them, and they all go in the same place. Look at that, how fun. Actually, I thought the colliders were meant to... That's actually interesting. I didn't know that one would happen by default, because I think the colliders are set as triggers, right? Aren't they? Yeah, they are triggers. Well, that's interesting. So NavMesh by default already does obstacle avoidance. I actually didn't know it did that by default. Well, so that's fun. All right, so there you go. I can send all those units. Go there. Now let me select these three. And this guy, you go in there. These two go in there. And that one go in there. All right, awesome. Now, of course, the only thing is to be able to click. So if I click on him right there, I want to be able to select him. So I'm going to have to deal with that. Okay, so let's see. Joining your course, they're awesome. Well, that's great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope you'll learn a ton. Those courses are definitely interesting to make. I can actually cover a lot more in a course than I can do in a video. So yeah, those are fun. Okay, so let me see. Is this the Unity open source project? Yep, it is. These are, I'm essentially taking that one, which is intended to be a action adventure game. I'm taking that and I'm trying to convert it into an RTS, just as a bit of fun, because the visuals, they look pretty cool. Look at that. Look at this little pig guy. Such a cool character, and it's got all of the shading and everything. So it's a really nice thing. So yeah, for any of you who are not familiar, go ahead and search for Unity Open Projects, and you'll be able to see where these assets come from. And if you want, you can obviously participate. That's the whole point behind that project. Okay. They made some nice shaders. Yep, I always love the cartoony look. Look at that, flat shaded, looks really cool. Okay, so what was I doing? I was trying to be able to click on someplace and actually, right, so it's intentionally in here on the half extents. So set a min size. That's the easiest way to achieve this. So if half extents.x, do I go with a smaller x? Yeah, I think so. So if the x is under a small amount, do I put 1? That's a bit too small. Let's say 0.5. Then half extents x equals 0.5. So just the easiest way to do this, probably. Just to ensure that the box has a minimum size, so that when I click on it, I can actually select individual characters. All right, go back to your coding. Best of luck. Enjoy your work. Okay, so if I click on him, yep, I can click on that one, click on that one, and click on that one. And if I want to select all of them, and you all go there, and you go there, and you go in there, and you go in there, and you go in there. All right, there you go. We've got a very basic RTS controls here. Starting to look good. All right. Okay, so next up, why NavMesh not a star? Because NavMesh is super easy to add. That's pretty much it. Are you Portuguese? Yep, I am. So it's very nice. It's 2 p.m. right now. Okay. All right. So let me look at my to-do list. I've got my NavMesh. How fun. Okay. All right, let me think. So I would like to be able to control the camera. That would be an interesting thing to do. Because I'm pretty sure I added that, just to see if I have it in here. My camera target. Let me load my base scene. Is that one gonna have? Because I actually don't know when I made this project. Do I have my grid building system here on the 3D? And in here I had a camera target. Yep, there you go. That's what I got. And the virtual camera, I can probably just copy these two. So let's go all the way down there. 10 p.m. Wow, really? Must be really to the right side, I guess. So paste it here, the camera, the virtual target. And yep, that one is set to look at that one. But actually the camera, since I copy pasted, it didn't automatically add. So let's add the Cinemachine brain. Yeah, there's the Cinemachine brain. So on the camera target, let's put it on 0, 0. And now need to set up. Hey, I just bought your Battleground Tycoon and loved it. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Wow, I can't believe that game was made when was it? 2019? So like 2 years ago. Wow, time really does fly. Really does fly. Okay, so let's maybe a bit higher. Look down a bit. That's a bit too down. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play around the camera. But yeah, sure. So for the camera target, let me just move it around a bit. And yeah, I do want to rotate it onto the other side. Just makes more sense. Okay, so like this, let's lift up the camera a bit more, like this. Okay, this is just so I can reuse my camera target script, except move speed of 50, that's gonna be way too fast. So let's see like this. Love your tutorials. Well, thank you. I'm glad people enjoy the videos. Okay, why is this going strange? Right, because no. Why are you going to the side? Okay, it seems like I made something strange on the camera target. Right, yeah, I'm applying a little change, so I do not want that. That looks good if I want some isometric, but if I want something with a bit more control. Okay, so I go, and yep, there you go. Now it does work quite a lot better. But yeah, by now I should really just... Actually, that's a... Yeah, now that I think about it, that should really be... The movement should be based on the camera rotation. So I'll have to add that, because like this obviously looks very strange. But, you know, I'll handle that later. For now, just like this, it should already be pretty good. Okay, so I've got my camera, I've got camera movement, just basic movement script. I can select these guys and this guy, you come here, both of you come here. I'll select just one of them, you go here, now all of you go in there and select, you go down there, and there you go. And it avoids the rock. Doesn't avoid this one because that one is not static, so it's not on the nav mesh, but yep, everything is indeed working. Okay, so already got a pretty nice start here, as you can see. The stream has been going for 1 hour, and that's pretty much... I started pretty much from scratch, so yeah, that's interesting. Something higher so they don't collide. Yeah, I'm going to play around with how the target, how the distance is, which one, how do I calculate the move positions. Yeah, I'm going to modify that. Yeah, sure. This can be added in the CodeMonkey free app. Yep, the final RTS when I do make the video, so next week possibly. I'm not sure, let's see. Okay. All right, so let me look at my to-do list, start to think about what do I need. Well, how about, all right, so the click to select, that one is done, selection area, that one is done. So next up, I think I should do, well, let's say, how about doing some gathering? That should be fun. Fazer upload mais cursos em breve. Yep, I should. I definitely want to make some more courses. So right now I'm just focused on the videos, but yeah, next month maybe I'll start working on next course. I would love to make something more about C#, just some standard C# without a specific game in mind. So I'd like to work on that possibly next month. We shall see. Okay. Now, of course, I'm going to have to refactor all this code. This is all very messy right now, but yeah, we'll deal with that in a bit. Okay, now I already forgot what I was going to do. Right, gathering. So, okay, let me go into my scene. So let's first create a gather position. So let's create an empty game object. Let's make it the gather stone. And inside, let's add just a cube. And let's remove the box collider. For now, let's just put it on 0, 0. And let's put it here. So this will be my cube. So this will be my gather area. 0.5. Actually, I'm going to need the collider. So let me try to think. Yeah, I'm going to need to add a box collider here. And this one's going to be trigger. I don't want to hit this, okay? All right, so let's see, I'm going to need some sort of script here. Yeah, emojis don't work. Yeah, this is just using the standard Text Mesh Pro font. So yeah, I don't think that one supports emojis. So yeah, it doesn't show up. Okay, so let's see, make a new C# script. Same the resource node, and I can't actually see what's written there. Let's hope I didn't make a typo. Resource node, all right, that's awesome. And let's actually make sure there's no more resource nodes on this project. Actually really got to put things into some proper namespaces. Otherwise I'm going to start seeing some conflicts. All right, so let's go just basic resource node, just to be able to attach it and identify it. Okay. Hope you do more streams. Yeah, I'd love to do more. Still, it's always fun. It's always interesting. It's a bit stressful, but it is interesting. Let's see, as I get more and more used to this, hopefully they should be more common. All right, so that's gonna be my resource area. Let's just add, oh crap, resource node. Right, that's the issue. Do more bold tutorials. Yeah, I'd love to do some. There are a bunch of things that I covered in the course that I think would do well on a standalone tutorial. So hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Okay. So what am I doing? It's essentially on the set destination. When I right click, instead of doing that, ah crap, I removed that code. I shouldn't have done that. So let's gotta do the same thing again. So physics, I'm going to do a raycast. Go into the camera.main.screen point to ray on the input mouse position. Okay, so I'm going to do that ray and out the raycast hit. Raycast hit. All right, so if this hits something, then I hit something. This is always gonna hit something, right? Yep. Use dim cloud. Well, because the dark mode burns my eyes. That's pretty much it. So if it hits something, let's see if it can hit. Okay, let me think. So I guess this guy hit something. So let's go if raycast hit. I'm going to raycast it, and I'm going to grab the collider that I hit. I'm going to need to, replace this to others. Okay, so try get component, and I'm going to try to get it from my resource node. Out resource node. Okay, so if I hit something with a resource node, let's just do a debug log just to be able to identify it. And if not, if I don't right click on resource node, then I do tell all those units just move to that position. Okay, let's see if we identify that resource node. All right, I really gotta go drink some water, but let's see if this works. Currently working on a new Steam game. Nope. Not yet. Right now just working on some videos. Okay, so if I right click and yep, they all move, everything looks good. And if I right click in there, yep, they don't move. They're not supposed to, and instead it identifies the resource node. All right, that is awesome. So now I gotta handle a basic state machine to be able to gather some resources. But in the meantime, I really gotta go drink some water. So let me just, bit of fun. Let's see again. I also got to go feed my dog, so let's make a nice little poll. There you go. Look at that poll. Very nice. All right, so I'm going to go feed my dog, drink some water. Go ahead, feel free to vote. All right, so be back in a bit. All right, all right. Wow, look at that. 50-50. Well, that's something. So the battle continues. Okay, all right. So what am I doing? I want to gather some stone. So let's see that. So I got my characters, I can move them around, I can tell them to go there, and you go and gather stone. So let's handle that. You can change your vote. Yep, you can. What are my system specs? I'm not even sure. I've got an Intel 6700, I think, and a GTX 980. Definitely due for an upgrade, but there are no graphics cards and no processor, so even though I would love to update, I really can't do it. That sucks. Nothing is available. Anyways. Okay, alright, so I got my resource node, and instead of telling him to set the destination, let's go a public void, just do the simplest thing possible. So just set the resource node. And up here I'm going to store a private resource node for my resource node. And in here I'm going to receive it and set it. So resource node on this guy. Okay. Alright. Is my name based on that one song? Nope. It's based on just the term Code Monkey. I didn't even know that it was a song. I only saw it later. It's pretty fun. You can do the same for mobile devices. Yep, you can. There's nothing here that you couldn't do on a mobile device. Just need to switch the mouse position for touch input. But yep, everything does work. Okay. So I set the resource node. And yeah, that's going to be the set destination. Okay, so let me think how I'm going to handle this. Let's make a pretty basic enum for very basic state machine. So normal, so it's just going to be walking and gathering. And then here, let's store a private state for the current state. And on awake, state equals state.normal. Okay, so then let's do a private void update, and on update, do a switch on my state. And then case state.normal, then I'm not going to do anything, case state.gathering. Okay, alright, let me think. So I set the resource node, I set this resource node, then I go into the state, I'm going to modify the state and go into gathering, alright. Okay. So when I go into gathering, yeah, how do I handle all the state logic? I'm obviously going to need something quite a bit more complex than this. All right. Let me think. Okay, I guess for now I'm going to keep it simple, and then I'll refactor it. All right. I made this chat look sick. Well, search the video list for the transparent Unity window. That's how this whole thing works. And then for the one for the hack into Unity, that's how my control messages things. Look at that, all the people in chat right now. How nice. All the people in chat on things, so I can control everything. I can make a new poll and so on. It's quite a bit of fun. Okay, all right. All right, so let's keep it simple. So I set it to gathering. Let's set gathering going to the position and then returning, because then I got to return. So gathering active, maybe name it something like that. Gathering going back. Essentially, he's going to go somewhere. He's going to gather some resource and then go backwards. Okay, so in here, if I'm on gathering going to, then I'm going to set the destination, and destination will be on the resource node dot position. I always like to add a nice get position. I always find that fun. So just go here, just say public vector3 get position. Just going to return the transform dot position. Okay. So gathering going to, then I'm going to need to check. So if a vector3 dot distance between this guy's transform position and the resource node dot get position. So if that distance is close enough, so float reached distance, let's say within 2 units, that should be enough. So if you are within 2 units, then reached, and after it reaches, let's go change the state into state.active because it's actively gathering. Then when I do a gathering state.active, let's keep a sort of timer. So private float resource gather timer, and then I'm going to gather timer minus equals time dot delta time, and if this one is under 0, just adding a pretty simple timer. So plus equals, let's define a float for the resource timer max, let's say every second. So every second is going to gather some things, and let's do a debug.log mining. Okay, so all this should be enough logic to make sure that the basics are working. All right, so look at that. Apparently dogs win by 10 votes, 9 votes, 11 votes. How nice. Oh, they're catching up. All right, that's fun. Okay, so the set resource node, I just have to go into this one, and essentially I go into all those guys, and I tell them set the resource node, and the resource node will be this resource node. Very simple. Okay, so let's see. Okay. I always miss which one. Yeah, this one is Unity. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's see. So if I right click in there, yeah, I no longer have any messages. So let's say this guy. So moving around, pretty normal. Now go in there, and he's gonna go there, and he stops when he gets there, and every second he is mining, and this guy starts going there as well. Now obviously they got the reached position distance. Yeah, I gotta make them avoid, but yep, everything is working. All right, so far so good. Okay, so they go there, they gather some resources. Now let's go a private int for the resource amount. Then here, when they finish mining, let's increase the resource amount. And then I'm going to check. So if resource amount is bigger than the, let's say resource amount max, let's say they can gather 5 resources. So if so, then let's swap the states. State back into gathering, going back. Yep, the models are from the Unity open project. It's a great thing. Tell me what I'm doing in this stream. I'm trying to make an RTS game very much in the likes of something like Age of Empires. Look at that, your videos are awesome. Super chat, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the videos. It's nice. Okay, so gathering going back, and then case gathering dot going back. For going back, I'm obviously going to need to identify some sort of what do I call it? Some sort of outpost. But for now, yeah. So let's say the same reach distance, and for going backwards, let's go back into vector 3.0. So he goes back into vector 3.0. As soon as he gets there, he goes back into gathering going to. And for the resource amount, let's reset it back into 0. So he goes there, mines, let's say just 3 instead of 5. Mines 3, and then goes backwards. Why not use agent out remaining distance? Well, that's interesting. I didn't even know that was a thing. I always use distance because I actually don't use nav mesh that often, so definitely need to work on all of this. Will the video stay on YouTube? Yep, it will stay saved as a VOD. So if you go and look into the live stream playlist, it will show up in there. It won't be unlisted, but it will be on that playlist. Okay, so going back to, and let me just, so that I can then cancel them from the thing. So public void, let's call it just move to vector 3, and well, it's going to do the same thing as this one. So just get this guy and set the destination to this destination position, except on this one, I'm also going to set the state back into normal. So that over there on the chop chop RTS, when I've got that one set the resource node, and if not, then you just do a basic move to. Okay. How many coding languages do you know? I have no idea. How many do I know? I've played around with, well, obviously C#, JavaScript. I've done a bit of C. Let's see what else. Played around with HTML. Played around with ActionScript 2.0 and 3.0. So yeah, quite a lot of them. Obviously a bit of Python and so on. So yeah, quite a lot of things. Okay, so if I go and I just move them around, okay, they just move. Pretty simple. Now I take just this guy. You go in there, gather some resource. So he gets in there and he starts mining. And after he mines, and nope. Why did he not change the state? Why are you mining constantly? Did I not increase? Let me see my unit on the reached amount. I did increase. So why did you not go back? Let's go and see the debug inspector. And he doesn't actually show it right, because that one is not like that. So why did you not? It's an interesting question. Yeah, why are you not going back? Did I not save? Is that the issue? Is that the issue? Did I not save mining? And then let's log that guy to be able to see what this guy is saying. Okay. All right. Let's see. When are you going to implement memberships? Actually, I've got some really interesting ideas to work with memberships, Patreon, and these characters down here. So essentially, these characters are made from some basic sprite sheets. So yeah, I'm thinking I might implement things with like that. Another super chat. Thank you. Dots and ECS. Well, that's awesome. Yep, I definitely will get back into dots. I would love to make some more proper dots projects. That would be interesting. So yeah. Okay, so let's see. Mining 1, 2, 3, so 4. So why are you on 4? Wait, what? Did you went? Wait, is that one on 0, 0? That one is not on 0, 0. Where is 0, 0? 0, 0, 0. No, it's all the way down there. So why didn't you go back into? Oh, right, because I'm testing the resource node position. Yeah, not very smart. Not very smart. So let's make the storage position equals vector3.0. Set the storage position. So you go back into the storage position and then you test the distance to the storage position. If it's close enough, then you go back and drop things. Oh crap, only now I realized something. Yeah, did I? Yep, I forgot. Ah, damn it. Okay. I forgot to manually record this live stream. So for the final video, I'll have to use the thing that I download from YouTube, which means it won't be in 720p. Well, that's not nice. That's a bit annoying. Anyways, okay, so deal with that when it comes. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, once he gathers 4, which should actually be 3, but yeah, he goes there and he drops them and goes back. And he mines 1, 2, 3, 4. And when he mines, he goes back. All right, that is awesome. So all the logic is working. So this guy is now gathering, and if I tell him to move, he cancels, he stops gathering. And if I now tell this guy to go gather, and this guy as well, both of them go. And yeah, they got the obstacle avoidance from the nav mesh, but yep, the logic is working, so look at that. That is very interesting. Now that one cannot push him. So yeah, the obstacle avoidance, yeah, because I didn't even know that nav mesh had that automatically. So yeah, that is interesting. Have I ever tried Rider? Nope. I've heard great things about it, but never actually tried it. I gotta say, I mean, Visual Studio works perfect for me, so I really don't know what it can do better. But yeah, I'd love to give it a try because yeah, everybody always says such great things about it. So I'm guessing it must be interesting. Okay, so I've got some basic resource gathering. All right, what time is it? 2:30. So just do a bit more. Then yeah, okay. Please don't use vector3 distance because of square root. Well, this is definitely not going to be a performance intensive game. So yeah, those kinds of things, trying to shave off 0.1 milliseconds is not really going to be a factor on this type of game. So let's make a basic resource manager. That's going to be interesting. What does RTS mean? RTS means real-time strategy. So, you know, Age of Empires, that sort of thing. So resource manager. Some videos to watch after the live stream. Well, if you want to know more about the RTS controls, I made a video specifically on that. So I implemented pretty much the same thing in here. So yeah, this little class game RTS control, that one is from that one. So if you want to see how all of this how all this works in detail, then go watch that video. Just search for RTS and it's one of the videos that I made. Okay, so the resource manager. First of all, let's make a nice singleton. So static resource manager, make it an instance with a public get and a private set, just to be able to keep things nice and clean. Then on awake, set the instance into this. Okay. Now, let me try to think. I'm going to need my resource nodes, and for that, eventually, I'm going to use scriptable objects. So let me try to think, how am I gonna handle things here? Well, I guess for now, I'll just handle a basic int. Then later on, I'll support for different things. So just a private int for the resource amount, then I'll let support for multiple resources. So that one equals 0. Isso é uma introdução ao vivo que agora você faz em seus vídeos. Huh? Doing a live introduction? What do you mean by that? I would like to make some more live streams. That should be it's fun. It's interesting. I mean, I got to do this kind of work in order to make the videos. So if I'm gonna do it, I might as well make it as a live stream. Why do you do instance.this? In order to set this, can you remind what is static? Static means that it's based on the actual class and not based on the object instance. So essentially, this instance, there's only you access it through the class name, and in the way that I have it set it up here, this is supposed to be a singleton, since I'm always only going to have just one resource manager. So it's a great way to be able to access this field, so in turn access this object from anywhere in my code. So we will see how that goes. So essentially just make a public void add resource amount, and then for the add amount, and then I simply go into the resource amount plus equals the add amount. So I'm going to add this amount. And now I can go into my chop unit. Okay, this guy goes back, he resets the resource amount, so it's in here. Then I can go into the resource manager, access the static instance, and now I can access that public variable. Super useful. So just go here, add the resource amount before I reset it. And now that guy is going to have multiple resource amounts. So let's do a debug log, just to be able to see this one constantly counting upwards. So my resource amount. And on the unit, let me remove this one, no longer need that log. Okay. So let's see if the resource manager is working. All right, now obviously I need to add it. So let's make a nice new empty game object, name it the resource manager, and just attach a script, reset the transform, and let's see it. Yep, C# is based on Java. I did learn a bit of Java, and yep, they are very, very similar. If you know Java, you will very easily learn C#. All right, let's see if the log goes in. And yep, there you go. Now I've got 3 resources. And now let's see that one do a bit more. And as soon as it goes, and 6, and that one drops in 9. All right, so we are now gathering some resources. How fun. Am I using an SSD? Yep, an SSD is pretty much an essential upgrade. It's such an awesome thing. And nowadays they're actually pretty cheap, so if you don't have, I would definitely encourage you to get it. It's a great thing. It really makes your whole PC a lot faster. So that really helps. The faster that code compiles and everything works, the faster you can iterate, so the faster you can work. So super useful. All right, so I've got this. Let's add a nice little visual. That would be fun. I don't think I've got a canvas here, so let's make a nice canvas. Okay, let's go put it in 2D. Let's see. All right, let's make an empty game object for the resource UI, and I'm going to make a script to handle it. So let's make a new C# script for the resource UI, Actually, it should be Resource Manager UI, not just Resource UI. Hi, hello. All right. Okay, so just go into the Resource UI and just add that one. Let me just rename it. Okay. Nice canvas. Yeah, it is nice. Okay, all right. So in here, let's begin. What do I want? Well, I really just want to make a counter. Later on, I'm going to make some proper objects, but for now, just a basic counter. Let's set the width and height both at 0, then set it to disable unwrapping, put it on center, maybe center on left actually. And let's anchor this guy on the top right corner and move it around there. Put the width and height at 0. I don't need that. And let me move this to the side and let's play around with the asset. Let's duplicate the material so we can actually use this. So let's put it to resources. Just name it that, then I'll figure out a better name. Okay, just use that one. Let's put it in bold. Let's see it on the game view. Okay, that actually looks pretty good already. Make it a nice little outline, dilate. All right, there you go. Just a basic counter for the current resource amount. All right, so what I want, let's call this the resource text. Resource amount text. Actually, I can't read it. Move. It's always something. All right, let me just hide the characters just for a bit. So the resource amount text, just so I can actually write that. And there you go. There they are back. Okay, so I got my resource amount text. Let's edit the script. Yep, the ID that I'm using is Visual Studio. I'm still using version 2017, I think. Isn't it? Yeah, 2017, so that's something. Okay. All right, so what do I want? Let's first grab the reference. So using TM Pro. Then let's go into a private void awake. And on awake, let's do a transform.find the resource amount text and get component text mesh pro UGUI. Yep, this guy. And a private text mesh pro UGUI for the resource amount text. And this guy, let me assign this. All right. And by default, let's set it text equals 0. Okay. All right, so what do I want? I want to be able to listen to when the resource manager actually does something. So let's use a super useful event. So let's use a public event, basic event handler. So just using system. So event handler on resource amount changed. And when the resource amount changes, let's fire off this event. So down here, just do this guy dot invoke and just pass in this event empty. All right. So now I can go back into the UI. Up here, let's make a private void start. And on start, I'm going to access the resource manager, access the static instance, and listen to that event. All right, so when that event happens, go into the resource amount text.text. I'm going to set the text. So I gotta go into this guy. And what am I gonna do? I need to be able to get the resource amount. So public int get resource amount. Think so fast, it's insane. Well, it's because in all the time that I've been making games, I've probably done, I don't know, maybe 20 resource managers. So yeah, this is, once you know the logic to do something, then it's really just a matter of writing text. So that's pretty much it. Just go into the resource manager, access the instance, and get the resource amount, and just do a toString. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's see if all of this is working. I got my script here. Yep, everything should be working. Let's see it. And nope, got an error. What? Input button submit is not set up? Ah, crap. Now this guy is... it's interacting with that one because I made that one do the other thing. So that's annoying. Can I just remove this? Because the Unity Open Project is using the new thing. So that's the issue. Yep, that's gonna be the issue. Ah, crap. So I'm gonna have to... That's not nice. Because I haven't really looked into the input manager. So that's the issue. All right, so I guess we're gonna do another restart. No, because then that is gonna be, crap. All right, so I guess I have to learn how this works. So how do I, okay, let's see. I gotta go into the input manager. Where do I got the input manager? So the input manager, is it, no, this is the, oh, if I add it in here, does that work? Actually, I don't know. If I put submit in here, does that now stop having that error? And yep, okay, so this might work. Let's hope so. So just an issue that these ones weren't set up. I really gotta learn how the new input system works now that it's actually verified on 2020.3, which, by the way, if you don't know, Unity 2020 just went into RTS last week, so that's something. Crap, I gotta add all of these. Okay, so let's, what else do I need? I need the axis for the horizontal and vertical, so let's add 2 of them just to be able to bypass the errors. I actually don't want to use any of this, but okay, let's call it horizontal and vertical. And these are, do you put it as joystick axes? I guess so. I don't know. I don't want to touch these. I just want to be able to go in. Thanks for amazing content. Well, thank you. Thank you for watching. It's always awesome. I mean, the videos really only exist because you all are watching them. So yeah, thank you all for watching. It's great. Okay, so he goes there, he drops it, and yep, there you go. Look at that. It is working. So he goes, he gathers some, he goes down, let's see that one, update, and he goes, yep, there you go, from 3 to 6. Okay, that is pretty awesome. Can't I actually make the units move a bit faster? Oh, right. By the way, this should definitely not be like that. You can set it to use both inputs. Says, yep, that's what I've got here. So as to not break the original project, that's what I'm just, so I can actually see. Okay, yeah, I just want to turn these guys into actual proper prefabs instead of being just like this. So let me just put this guy, make it into a prefab, get rid of these 2, and let me find them and delete them. And now I can actually duplicate just prefabs so that everything works. Now let me go inside the prefab, and I just really want to play around this. So the radius, let's make it smaller. For the speed, I do want them to be quite a bit faster. The angular speed 250, acceleration 20. I don't know. Let's see these. And on the stopping distance, those were, let me see, what do I got here? Yeah, put a reach distance on 2. Let's put it at 1. That should be enough. Okay, so with this, I've got the units gathering some resources already. Everything should be working. So it's already 2:40. So in about 20 minutes, yeah, it should be, oh crap, now they are moving way too fast. But yep, that, oh wow, they're moving way too fast. Now they constantly overshoot the target. Yeah, that's kind of the issue. Or at least I think they are overshooting the target. Maybe not actually. Let me see, where is point 0? 0, 0, 0. Okay, they overshoot just by a tiny bit. Yeah, all right. Let me just set their speed. I don't want to touch the canvas. Let's say this guy, let's put instead of 8, how about if I put it just 6? Yeah, 6 is a bit better. And angular speed at 300. Yeah, okay, that's a bit better. Stopping distance maybe than 0.5. Okay, so let me copy these components, go inside the unit, and paste. All right. All right, so we got some basic resource management working. Okay, right, so what am I doing? What does the F mean after the numbers? It means that it's a float value instead of an int or something. So you don't have to put it. If you don't put it, it automatically sees that, you know, this one is stored as a float. So if you put it like this, it works just fine. But I don't like to be verbose, so I like to be clear that this is a float and this one is an int, so just pretty fun. How often do you stream? Well, whenever I got something to do, that's pretty much it. So I would love to be able to do them quite a bit more, because they are fun and actually quite productive. In these 1 hour and 40 minutes, I've done quite a lot. I mean, this was an entire empty thing. Great stream. Oh, thank you. I'm glad people enjoy it. Okay, so let's see. Can I, in the next 20 minutes, can I handle some enemies? Maybe. Let's try. Alright, so let's take the unit, duplicate it. Possibly should be a variant, but let's go with a just unit enemy. Yeah, then later I will see if I should really make a separate prefab or just different thing, but let's go. Okay, so this one is going to be an enemy. Right, so for the enemy, it probably makes sense. Okay, so let's go. By the way, for those of you who are just joining now, if you don't know these assets, these are all part from Unity open projects. So that's what gave me the idea to start doing this, because all of these assets look really awesome. So if you want to know where all of these come from, just go and Google Unity open projects. That's essentially Unity's initiative for making a project with the community. Oh crap, what happened? Okay. What happened now? Huh. One of the characters apparently got messed up and... Okay, now it's all... Alright, that was strange. Huh. Okay, that was... Why did it go like that? Well, that's interesting. Okay, I'm not sure what happened. Huh. Because, yeah, essentially the characters were... Suddenly the whole thing turned black. Well, that is interesting. Okay. Alright. Anyways, back to normal. So, that was strange, but it is fun. Because of the guy who sends empty messages in chat. Really? Is that the issue? Huh. That could be the issue. Well, that's interesting. I'll definitely have to handle that. Yep. That does seem to be the issue. Alright, could you please not do that just so I can actually, you know... Apparently I need to add something to make sure that doesn't happen. Because if I open the characters right now, yep, that's the issue. Okay. Well, I mean, I did find a bug, so that's fun. So that is at least interesting. Okay, all right, so let me do this and then I'll see what is going on. Okay, so I just want to be able to grab, so that is the slime critter. So I'm going to want to grab this guy. So let me just copy this guy. Let me go into the other one, to the unit enemy, and instead of the pig chef, this one is going to have the slime critter. So it's going to have this guy, except, well, let me unpack prefab completely and get rid of the whole thing. I just want the visual. And on this one, let me get rid of the animator, the colliders, and all of this. I really just want the visuals, nothing else. Okay, just to be able to have a unit enemy. Okay, let me also change the color on the selected, even though right now it won't be used yet, but sure. Right, just trying to look at. Oh hey, Shiro is in chat. Well, hey Shiro. He's the one responsible, or the one leading the Unity Open Projects thing. Oh no. All right, sorry. I'm trying to Yep, everything went a bit like that. Yep, get the people back. I'm trying to. Let me just... well, I mean, I found a bug, so that's always fun. That is always fun. Okay. All right, so that's, well, seems I gotta fix that. Let's see if this is, let's see if nobody breaks it now. Okay. All right, so where was I? Well, we're almost done, so then I'll definitely fix that for the next thing. Want to know why they break? I'm not sure. I think it's because I think it's essentially trying to make a chat bubble occupy the whole screen. So it's like creating a chat bubble with the size of nan and nan. So it essentially makes a huge chat bubble which occupies the whole screen. I think that is the issue. I was seeing one. Yeah, Shiro is one of the ones handling Unity Open Project. So if you don't know about it, hey, go ahead and post a link to the Unity Open Projects. If anyone wants to contribute, then you can do. It's a really interesting game. Okay. Right. What was I trying to do? I got distracted. Enemies. Right. Enemies. So let's go into the enemy chop unit. So how do I handle an enemy? Well, for now, how about I just say, well, actually, I like this. It should be fun. So if I go, I can select this guy. You can go there, start gathering some resources. You can walk around. And if I select that one, yep. Oh, hey, look at that. I didn't know it had, well, look at that. That is really cool. And I think this one is actually an asset that was made by the community. So, yep, that is really awesome. And this one has some variations and things. So yeah, I really love the assets that people made for this. So yeah. That's really cool. All right, okay, so I've got the enemy, but I've got to identify it as an actual enemy. How am I gonna do that? Well, for now, how about I just use a basic boolean? So just a serialized field. Let's make it a private bool. Let's make it is enemy. And by default, the units will not be enemies. Any plans on adding female characters to the overlay? I would love to, but I'm really not a artist. So all of these characters that you see here, essentially what I did was I contracted an artist to make the base sprites, and then I just modified them very slightly to get a bunch of variations. So yeah, creating an entire female shape, yeah, I'm not enough of an artist to do that. But again, as I was saying a while ago, my goal is definitely to expand upon this. So I would like to be, these are all pretty basic sprite sheets, so I would love to be able to update the website to have it a way so that you can upload your own custom sprite sheet. So that way you could draw your own character and it would show up in here. I think that would be a really fun idea, and it's definitely doable. So yeah, just gotta find the time to do that, and yeah, it will be interesting. Okay, right, so is enemy. So I know if this guy is an enemy, let's do a public bool is enemy. And I'm just going to return is enemy. All right. So, okay. Now what do I want? I've got this guy, and I've got, when I right click, if I had a resource node, it does that. And yeah, it's in here that I'm definitely going to need to refactor this code. So I try to see if it hits a resource node. And if it does, then it does that. All right, sounds good. But if it doesn't, then I want to see if it hit an enemy. So if it hit a chop unit. Okay, let's see if it hit that. So target chop unit. So if target chop unit dot get is enemy, or just is enemy, yeah, that's it. Right, so if this one is an enemy, then I'm going to want to set these guys to attack them. And if it is not, yeah, this is a, a mess. I definitely have to refactor this because, yeah, that is the issue. So I do raycast. If it is a resource node, then you go and regather. If it isn't, then you try to see if it hits a chop chop. If not, then you just move. But if it is, but it is not an enemy, well, I guess then if it is not an enemy, then just don't move things. That should be good. Okay, so set enemy target. And I'm going to set it to this guy. All right, so let's make this function. So let's go in here. What do? A public void set enemy target. And I'm going to receive my keyboard is not really capturing that key. That's something. All right. What am I doing? What am I doing? Set enemy target. I'm going to receive a chop chop unit. This is for the target. So let's go up here, store this guy. I'm an NPC. Yes, you are. That's fun. All right, chop chop unit for the target. Go down here, and you set this one as this guy. All right. So then I need to set a state. Let's set it state to move to target, and then attacking target. All right. So let's go down here. Set the state equals state dot move to the target. All right. And then all the way up here on our state machine case. By the way, if you're watching this, this is not final code. I just want to be clear about that. I'm writing this live, so this is not what the final code of a proper game looks like. So just in case there are some newbies in the audience, what you do is first you make everything work, and then you refactor everything to make sure that everything is set correctly. Because in here right now, this class is a whole mess. So it's got things about normal movement, gathering, attacking. So this should all be nicely separated into different classes, different things. All the logic should be as separate as possible. So that is the process that comes after getting it to work. Okay, so moving to target. What do I want? I want to move towards the target position. And yeah, I don't have a get position, so public vector3 get position. And I'm just going to return transform.position and all this position public. Okay. So set the position on the target chop chop unit dot get position. All right, so you go there, you set the target position onto that guy. The game will be released with the same code. Yeah, that does happen quite a while. Refactoring sometimes gets pushed towards to a point where it no longer gets done, and that is never a good thing. Yeah, sadly that really does happen. Okay, so case state dot attacking the target, and on attacking the target, let's store a simple attack timer. So in here, a private float attack timer, and I'm going to go here and just count down by time dot delta time, and if it is under 0, then I'm going to attack that unit. So attack timer plus equals, let's define a float for the attack timer max. Let's say 1 attack per second, and then we'll see that. Okay, so I've got the attack. Let's say debug.log attacking. Okay, so I move to target as soon as I get within, not the resource node, but distance of the target. All right, as soon as I get within that one, I go into attack. Okay, so right now he should have enough logic to be able to move towards the target and attack it. Now, what I need is just to be able to call this. So on the am I gonna make refactoring live too? No, probably not. I mean, I've been live streaming for about 2 hours, so my throat is completely dry, so I really gotta stop within a bit. And yeah, then I'm probably, I mean, this one is it's gonna take quite a lot more work to get this whole thing working. So yeah, I can't really do the entire project during a live stream. So I'm doing this, and I'm gonna continue working on it, and eventually next week the final video should be out, and that should be fun. Did I do an extra? Yeah, I messed up something in here. Okay, so let's see. All right, let us see. The finest tomatoes in Cyrodiil. Cyrodiil, is that from Oblivion or Skyrim? I don't actually remember, or both, I guess. They're all in the same world, so yeah, I guess so. Okay, does he go and attack? Does he attack after 1 second? No. Did he just move? Well, that's the issue. I shouldn't be able to select that guy. But did he? Okay, let's see if that guy is being identified. He should be being identified. So debug down log. Let's just do a log on this guy. See if it does hit. Okay, okay. Right, someone asking a question but didn't. How do you change color when I play the game? You go into, where is that? Project settings on the editor. Is it in here? I actually don't remember where that one is. It's somewhere in here. Isn't it in here? Does anybody know? Where do you change the color? Because I actually don't remember where that is. From preferences. Oh, is it on preferences instead? Yeah, I guess so. Right, it's on this side. Yeah, where is it? General? Yeah, now I want to find it. External tools? Nope. Is that on colors? It's not on, oh, it is. Play mode 10. It's right here. I like to have a nice blue, so thank you. Yeah, preferences, and here colors. It's always nice to have a different color, so it's very clear when you are in edit and when it is running. Okay, so let's see if I right click on that guy. Do I need to have things? No, he's not. Oh, right. I think I didn't. No, I didn't. Why is he not finding this guy? It's actually a good question. Is he colliding with something else? I don't know. Let's see. So if I right click on that, yeah, he is right. He's finding the triggers on alert. So that's the issue. Because I got another, I really just want the visuals. So let me, how did I learn Unity myself? Well, by a lot of trial and error. That's pretty much how you learn. There's no special thing. You really just try doing things. And the more things you do, the better you become. That's pretty much how it goes. All right, so the trigger zone, let me just disable all of these. Because I really, does this one also have skin mesh render? No, yeah, the visual is the only thing that I want. But this one still has something. Where do you have that? It's on the spine. There's another collider somewhere in here. Another collider on the attack sphere. Okay, I don't need that. All right, so like this, it should be good. Okay, let's see if it does work. Okay, so if I right click on that guy, and yep, there you go. It does identify the unit enemy. So it identifies this, and I click, it does identify the enemy. So if I go and I right click on that guy, now he goes, is he gonna attack? Yep, attacking, there you go. How nice. Now obviously it does need to, I do need to handle the stopping distance, and I do need to stop controlling that guy, because I shouldn't be able to control that guy. So let's solve that one very quickly. So these logs, yep, everything's working fine. So what do? So over here on the selection, when I let go, yep, I go into, I find all of those with chop chop unit, then I check if this guy is not an enemy. So if it is not an enemy, then I do select it. If it is an enemy, then obviously I don't want to select it. Okay, so like this, yeah, the enemy is going. All right, so I really just want to handle a health system, and then. Yep, that should be able. Okay, so just go with this guy, you go gather, and you go attack that guy. And nope, yeah, right, the collider does need to be a bit bigger, just so I can click it, but yeah, now. Yep, he is attacking, and this guy's gathering resources, so resources are increasing. Gather some more. And yep, look at that, how nice. Okay, so all the logic is indeed working pretty well. So let's handle some health system and also increase the collider on this guy just because it's a bit too small. Actually, it's not small. I think it's the issue that it's a collider, so down there it's very... Yeah, definitely make it a bit smaller, more down there, and a bit bigger, just so it's easier to click. As a rule, it should always make things a bit easier for the player, so make it easier to actually click on the target. And that's something. Be curious to see what happens when you attack using all your units. Well, all that really happens is they all go into the exact position, because right now they don't have any logic for stopping distance. So as I click on it, yep, they pretty much just jump in and look at all those attacks. They're all constantly attacking. So the poor thing is getting hit by all 4 units at once. That's quite painful. All right, okay, so let me just implement a health system and then go before my throat completely dies out. All right, so let's see how to handle this. And it's going to be very simple. Just go private health system. Once again, I'm reusing the health system that I made on the very first video on this channel. So that was over 2 years ago. That was quite something. Okay, so a health system. Let's make a new health system. Let's give it 100 health points. All right. And I'm also going to have a health bar, so that will be fun. So for that one, I can go and use my super useful utilities. So using codemonkey.utils. Okay. Let's go into the world bar and to create a nice little health bar. Let's put it in here. So on 0, let's put it on 2 on the Y. Scale, 3 units maybe, 0.5. Let's see, like this. Background color, color.gray. Gray with an E. I never actually know if gray is with an E or an A. I don't know which one is which one is the UK, which one is the US. That's always tricky. Okay, color.red and size ratio. Let's put 1. In fact, let's a bit of fun. I haven't done a poll in a while. So let's do this one. There you go, look at that. Which one? With an E or an A? So that's fun. Okay. Alright, so the world bar, this will be my health bar. So private for the world bar, this is my health bar. And yep, my health bar, alright. And then let's go into the health system on health amount changed. Let's subscribe to that event, and on that event, let's go into the health bar, and I'm going to set the size, and the size go into the health system in order to get the health amount normalized, and just like that. Okay, so the health bar should be working, and look at that, 50-50. Thank you for helping me learn Unity. Well, thank you for watching. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad people enjoy learning from the videos. It's always fun. Alright, so hold on, let's make a public void damage. Just a simple damage function. Receive an int for the damage amount. And I'm going to go into the health system in order to trigger some damage for this damage amount. And then of course I'm going to need to listen to that one, but let's do that in a bit. Okay, so like this, it should be good enough. So set the enemy target. Alright, so far so good. And as soon as you attack, go into the target chop unit, deal some damage, and let's say deal 30. Yeah, 30. So they die in 4 hits. Alright, so let's see if the health bar does show up and does change. Look at that, 21 to 15. It's pretty close. What do you think is the most important component in making a hack and slash? Animations or animations blending? Code or animation? Well, I mean, everything is required, so you can't really do it without code or without animation, so yeah, you really do need both. Okay, so let me see, why on earth did I not set it as a, yeah, of course, if I didn't set the parent, then of course it shows up in there. Not very smart. One is gray with an E, which apparently is the most popular thing, so that's fun. Okay, so what did I do? It's over here on the... Where do I have the parent? Oh, right. The first one is the parent. That's the issue. and this one is way too big. So let's actually put just 1 and 0.3, maybe. Okay, so what am I missing here? So I got the parent, the local position, the local scale, the background color. I don't have a bar color. Local scale, background color, size ratio, and then it's the sorting order. Okay. Oh, and then the outline. Forgot about that one. New world bar outline. Color equals color.black, and for the size equals 0.2f maybe. Okay, let's see if that one is working. What is an RTS? It's a real-time strategy. Honestly, I'm surprised. Quite a lot of people asking what is an RTS. That is interesting. I wonder, are the people asking extremely young? Is that the thing? Because RTSs were insanely popular back in the 90s, but I guess nowadays they are not as popular. So that is interesting. Okay, so yeah, I've got my health bars. Obviously, they need to look at the camera, but yep, that is fun. And if I attack, is that other guy? Yep, he does take damage. All right, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. RTS dead in 2021. Well, there are still some coming out. Wasn't it, what just came out? The, oh, what's the name? The Warlords. Stronghold Warlords? Is that the name? I never actually played that series, but it does look interesting. It does look interesting. Okay, so let me just make the outline a bit thinner. So just 0.1, but yeah, the logic is indeed working. Let's just deal a bit less damage. Where's my damage? My damage amount here. Let's go just 10 at a time, just like that. Okay, so then if the unit dies, let me just finally handle that. So for that, I'm going to go into the health system and listen to the on dead event. And when that happens, then just destroy this. Oh crap. When that happens, just destroy this game object. I'm hitting all the wrong keys right now. Okay, just destroy this game object. And that is obviously going to break a ton of things. So I also need a public bool is dead. Just go into return the health system that is dead. So then here, I deal damage. All right, then you check if target chop chop unit dot is dead. If it is dead, then I'm going to essentially stop targeting that unit. So how do I do that? Well, I can just do a normal move to onto the get position. So move on top of itself, which is going to set the state and so on. All right, let's see if that one is working. And hey, look at that, gray with an E apparently wins. That's fun. Okay, so let's see if this one is working. All right. Okay, there you go, all those really nice health bars. Super useful. Again, here's a practical use case of just how useful it is to reuse code. I mean, these health bars are part of my utilities, which I first made them, I don't even know how long. I've been essentially making them and reusing them since I've been making games. So for like, what is it, 8 years now? Yeah, so always useful. And the health system, which I made on the very first video for this channel. So yeah, reusing code is super useful. Okay, so that guy is gathering resources and that guy is attacking the other one. And as soon as he attacks, let's see if everything crashes and burns or if it works right. One more hit and boom, there you go. All right, no errors, everything worked fine. So I can move this guy and take down the enemy and go in there and find that one. All right, okay, so I'm pretty happy with these 2 hours of work. Everything went surprisingly well. All right, let me just do this. Yeah, the resource manager needs to handle multiple things. Resource UI, the nav mesh, and so on. The health system, the enemy. Yep, a lot of this is indeed working. All right. Okay, so my throat is about to die out, so yeah, I think that's gonna be it for now. All right, so thank you all for joining me on yet another random live stream. Again, these aren't really planned, so yeah. And it does have the VOD, so if you want to see it later, there's a playlist on the channel which contains links to all of the live streams, because the live stream will be set as unlisted just to be able to not spam the channel. So if you want to see the VOD, the whole thing, just go onto the playlist and you'll be able to find this. And yeah, if you're, just to mention again, if you don't know where all these characters are from, they are from the Unity open projects. So here is the art showcase, looks really nice. So if you want to participate, this is a really cool initiative by Unity where they are making a game in real time alongside with the community. So they've been working on this since September, I think. So it's like 5 months and they're a few months away. So if you want to participate, you definitely can. So as you can see, I think this one was made fully by the community. So it's really awesome. So a whole bunch of these things were made by people in the community. And then it's the team inside of Unity. They're essentially managing the whole thing, managing all the PR. So all the code is on a GitHub repo. So if you want to participate, you can. And I definitely encourage you to do. It's a really interesting thing. So I really look forward to seeing how this continues. All right. So I think that's going to be it for now. All right. So once again, thank you all so much for joining me. Stay tuned for the final video. This should be a fun mini game, so that should be cool. All right, so again, thank you all for watching. I really gotta go drink some water, so thank you all once again, and I'll see you next time.